Jill from Exeter Sling Library, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to use the Tula Free to Grow carrier in a front carry. So this is my Tula Free to Grow. It is an adjustable buckles carrier, so it's suitable from about sort of 7-8 pounds, so average newborn, right through to quite a big toddler, sort of 2.5, 3. They'll start to get a bit leggy and not fit it so well, but you know, it's a really good all-rounder and it fits for quite a few years. The reason it fits so well right from newborn is because it's adjustable. So at the waistband here, there are poppers. It's currently set to its widest, but I can unpopper it, slide it inwards. There are 3 different settings. So there is a narrow setting. It depends on the size of your baby, but I would say on average, newborn to maybe 3 months, something like that. There is a medium, which goes again, on average, sort of 10 weeks, 12 weeks, up to 6 months, 9 months. It depends. If you've got a baby with quite short legs, they're going to be narrower for longer. If you've got a baby who's quite tall and leggy, they might be going wider sooner. But it's got a narrow fitting, medium fitting and the wide fitting. Wide fitting I would say is usually from about 6 to 9 months up through to toddler, but it does depend on the size of your child. Similarly, this back panel is quite tall, but it has these adjusters here. So I can pull these down and I will lose several inches of height. Now my demo doll is a newborn size demo doll, so I'm going to set this to its shortest and its narrowest width. But it's very easy to kind of edge it out in increments. So, you know, if it looks a little bit low on your baby's back, let out some height and it'll fit better. So, putting it on, I'm going to get a hold of the carrier, and this part of the waistband where the safety label is, it's going to go flat to me. The buckle is coming around my back. It feeds under this elastic and does up with a satisfying click. Now, the reason the safety elastic exists is that if I somehow, within a hurry, I didn't do it up properly, it's weight-bearing elastic, so it won't come off and undo as long as I've used that elastic. But I'm going to make sure it clicks anyway. So that's the carrier done up on my front. I've already adjusted it to fit the size of my baby. The next thing I'm going to do is do up my back strap. So this is a strap that fits across your back here. It stops the straps from slipping off your shoulders and it helps distribute the weight across your back. And actually the position of this strap is key to your comfort. So if you put the carrier on and everything else seems fine but you just aren't very comfortable, have a look at tightening it or loosening it. If it's too loose across your back, it's not going to give you the support you want. If it's too tight, it's going to be pulling. And also look at the height of it. If you're somebody who's very tall, you're going to need it quite low because you want it to be helping to distribute that weight low across your back. If you're someone who's more petite, you may need it a bit higher up because otherwise it's going to be kind of pulling in and pulling on the straps under your armpits. And one thing that I do find is that partners, quite often, you might have quite a difference in height or body shape between the two of you. So you may find that what suits you and what suits your partner won't be the same thing and you'll need to adjust this between uses. Otherwise, everything else is probably going to stay the same because your baby will be the same size. But you'll find that this strap will be key to your comfort. And once you've got the hang of adjusting it, it's a bit like adjusting mirrors in your car. Once you know what you've got to do, it's fine, it's not a big deal. But the first few times it might be like, oh no, they wore it last time and now it's all wrong. But don't worry, play around with it, get to know it, it slides up and down. You want it to be nicely parallel so it's the same height on both sides. And just play around with it and you'll find your sweet spot. So I've done that strap up and I'm going to lengthen my arm straps so they're really long and loose. The reason I'm doing it this way is because most people find once they've got their baby on their front, it's really difficult to then reach around and try and do up that strap. So I'm doing it up before I begin. So I'm now going to pick up my baby. Hello baby. I'm going to bring them down onto my front. I'm going to give them their hands because babies like having their hands. They can suck on them and they'll feel safe. I'm holding them in a nice natural position, legs each side of the carrier, nice and secure. I'm now going to bring the panel up over their back, nice and smooth. And I'm going to find that strap and pop it over my head. I'm putting my arms in and I'm keeping one hand on baby all the time so that they're nice and safe. So the carrier's now on, but it's still really, really loose. Now I'm going to tighten it, just grabbing my strap, giving it a pull forwards. Same on the other side. There we go. That's looking good. I'm going to pop my hands in and make sure my baby's bottom is nicely fitting in there. They're supported from knee pit to knee pit, and that weight is kind of going over their bum and up their thighs, so it's not all in one place, it's nicely spread out over them. My baby's got their hands, they're nice and happy. Some babies will like to face in towards you. That is fine. If they like to smoosh into you, make sure you haven't got thick clothing that they can suffocate on. But they do have flat little noses with flared nostrils, so they can breathe, for example, while breastfeeding. You know, so if they like to smoosh into you, don't worry too much. If it does concern you, make sure you monitor them. Put their hands in front of their face. Of course, they may move their hands again. Babies will do that, but it's definitely worth a try. Make sure their chin's off their chest, but you know, they're naturally likely to hold a good position if you've got everything right. So that's it, I'm hands-free, my baby's nicely supported, my back strap is helping to take that weight really nicely, it's all really comfortable, and I can go make a cup of tea. Taking it off again, I'm going to support my baby with one hand, reach round and just undo. Now, I'm quite flexible. Not everybody can reach round. It's easier to undo than it was to do up because I only need one hand. But if you can't reach it, it's just in the wrong place, it's not for you, don't panic. We can either loosen both sides, take it off over your head the way I put it on, or just loosen on one side, and that's going to give me enough slack to bring up that buckle to where it's nice and high and it's easier to reach. And I can unclip. I'm going to let the carrier drop down like it's an apron, and I'm supporting my baby, and then I can lift my baby out and dump him on a radiator. At this point I'm free to then take the rest of the carrier off, just unclip there, and go about whatever my next project is for the day. I hope that helps. If you've never used a Tula Free to Grow before, it's a really user-friendly, comfortable carrier, really flexible. The other thing I haven't mentioned is the hood. At the moment mine is folded up and it's in the little pocket on the front here, but it attaches with two loops here and here, and it has straps that will reach up to the poppers here and here on your shoulder straps. I find small babies, the hood's quite bulky, it gets in the way a little bit. Bigger babies, especially if you're back carrying with an older child, can be great to have some extra head support if they fall asleep. So I haven't gone into the hood because this is a little baby, but it's really easy to use if you want to. Hope that's useful. Bye!